Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
thank
Okay,
you,
very good.
Kevin.
Cool. Thanks, Kev.
You earned your
Um,
keep.
yeah. Every time I said that, I kept hearing the words to a song that I sang in choir many, 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 many years ago. Part of it was, "We are his holy people whose freedom he won." And at first I giggled because I hadn't thought about that song in forever because I haven't sung in the church choir in too many years. But it reminded me of my job here, of why I'm part of this ministry, of why I am who I am. And it actually helped me deal with the people that I had to fire from my sister in law's care, the hospice people, and not be nasty because I was very angry because she had spent $5,000 a month for the last 6 months and gotten nothing for it or very little for it. But it helped me deal with them in a positive, kind, caring way and thank them for their service, such as it was, but explain to them that she was running out of money and we had to make other alternatives. Um, and I didn't do it in a nasty way. I did it in a kind, caring way because I reminded myself that I am holy and that I don't need to let the redheaded anger person out to deal with anybody because nobody deserves that anger. Um, so that was my blessing for the week. And I thank you again, Melanie, because it's always been hard to think of myself as holy because that always made me feel like I was better than everybody else. And I know I'm not. Um, so it reminded me that we're all holy. We all have a purpose. We're hopefully serving our purpose. And I am serving mine. As my doctor said to me, to the day you die, you will always be a nurse. You will always care for people. It's who you are. It is your purpose in life. And I'm glad you finally realized that. So, saying I am holy, I am sacred has helped remind me that I still have a purpose, and that I am serving my purpose as much as I can. So thank you again.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
It was a
You're
great
welcome.
week.
It was like we said before, it's not about being in that ego space of I'm better than anybody else. It's just remembering who we are. And even being a holy being, you can have boundaries.
Yeah.
And you dealt with it with grace and you set that boundary and knowing that you're worthy of setting that boundary as well. I just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you. Thank you for
It's
that
awesome.
reminder. Yeah,
And
because
didn't you say Joshua came and thanked you too?
yes, my husband's father, whom I never met, came to me and told me that not
In
to worry,
spirit.
that yeah, that they were coming for her soon. Now I realize their soon is different than ours, but then he said, and my wife want and I wanted to thank you for loving our son because we never could. Yeah, and Matthew and I both cried when I told him that because he never felt loved, um, but he feels it from me. So my cup runneth over this week.
Very good. I love that.
Next.
Laura, Kevin,
Come
Katrina.
on, Laura. You know you want to say something.
I
I'm sure you
did.
had. Go, go.
I had an interesting experience this week as well. Something that was out of my comfort zone because I felt the need to be kind um, to this person that hangs in my circle of friends who I don't know. Her and I always seem to butt heads. And this week we had a game day where every now and then a bunch of us get together and we play games for a couple of hours. And she wanted to play this particular game. She always likes to be in charge. And that's why her and I always butt heads because I spent my life as a supervisor. So I I like to be in charge too. And so I always feel this tension between her and I. But I kept thinking about um, I am, I am kind, I am loving, I am, and I would follow it with a lot of different words, but the I am really stuck with me. So she wanted to play this one particular game that requires 8 little cups and blah 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 and chips, and this woman who was hosting didn't have any of those things, but she still wanted to try to play that game. And so I kind of stepped in and said, well, let's just play something that we're used to. And I knew she didn't like that, so I came home that day and I went online and I bought her that game that has all the chips. I bought it for her. And
Nice.
um, it just came yesterday, and I'm going to give it to her. And I just felt like, wow, that wasn't something I would normally do, but I just felt like I am holy. I'm special. And so I did that for her, even though I don't particularly like her. So now she can play that game wherever we go.
There you go.
That was so beyond kind of you. It's like sending an olive branch, you know?
Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I guess I'll go next. So, my I am statements center, of course, mostly around myself and the way that I see myself. I always tell people the way that we see ourselves always reflects out in the way not only we treat ourselves, but in the ways that other people treat us, because we show people how to treat us from the way we treat ourselves. So my I ams always involve meditation, breath work and mirror work. And that's one of the first things I've always told people. That's how we elevate ourselves, looking through our own eyes, the eyes of the windows of our soul, and telling ourselves who we are, not who we aspire to be. Like those conversations that we have with ourselves, the way that we program ourselves, honor ourselves, and remember ourselves. And so that work is intentional for me, especially if there's ever an area where I feel not so confident and not so sure. That fake it till you make it stuff doesn't work with me, but the honest conversations I have with myself, um, I am growing. I am becoming, or just I am. There's not always something behind the I am, because sometimes it's just I am. And that statement to me is just so full of everything that there is. So the I am statements I have with myself is always elevating, because I have to elevate myself first before I can elevate anyone else. And so I'm always working on that. And that's part of my gratitude as well, my I am statements.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Kevin, how about you?
Well, I feel like I had quite a few things happen with the I am. The number one, I noticed that whenever I would repeat it, I would have a certain calmness until the next time I repeated it. And I felt like I was recharging, not going back to, but I was recharging the I am holy. And then I found a YouTube, and all it does is 8 hours of I am, and all sorts of messages all night that I listen to while I sleep. And I think I've noticed that I'm calmer. Uh, the one thing with the PML, I'm anxious a lot and sharp and that sort of thing. And I notice that I'm just a, a bit calmer and I look at things differently and think differently. And and then a comical thing. When we did the spiral last week, remember I said, "Oh, I haven't passed a test because I can't draw a face." Well, when you did the spiral, you started the top and came down. And I looked at my spiral and I thought, I started at the bottom and went to the top. And I thought, that's so typical of me. But I was truly blessed with the I am and the I am holy and I am whatever. Uh, because I had commented on this last week that as part of the gay rights movement, we had to teach pride. And the fact that you can't say I am a son when your father has kicked you out of the house for being gay. You can't say I'm an employee because your boss can fire you for being gay. So that's why we would do the I am. I am enough just with two words. It doesn't need a third. And a third is good because what happens if you rely on the third word and that third word goes away, what are you going to do? And that's why the I am is so important.
It absolutely is. And I appreciate you sharing that so much. What I've noticed for me personally, when I started using I am, and like I gave that stat, and I forgot to say I got it from the National Science Foundation, is most people cannot say I am. The average human can't say I am without following it up with some sort of negative comment about themselves. I'm not smart enough. I am dumb. I am blah, 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 blah. And sometimes filling in with that other word, like I am beautiful, I am smart, I am capable, I am growing, whatever it is, can retrain your brain. It can literally reattach neurological connections in our synapses of our brain to start flowing and thinking that way. So you can literally hold just I am and not follow it with anything but openness, expansion. And sometimes even for a lot of people saying I am holy, it triggers a lot of people. Like it did for me when I first started saying it, I am holy. How dare I? How dare I even be worthy enough to think that? But I pushed myself to say that over and over again till I was like, wait, but I am, because God is in me. God, I'm worthy of that. I'm worthy of setting a healthy boundary, because why not? Everybody should be able to do that. And I am holy, and I am just holding I am got me there. So thank you.
Thank you. So I was inspired and have been using it for my computer work, which I tend to be kind of foul-mouthed with my computer when things don't go well. And so I found that if I just allowed myself to be in observance and use these statements, I am holy, I am sacred, as well as just the brain heart coherence of it all, just being within yourself and understanding that you're part of all of that is, all the energetics in the world. And so I've used it in a couple of circles of people who do meditation and, you know, mediumship and readings and things like that. And we've been having these conversations about staying in that place where you're not taking sides with the news headlines and you're not taking sides with good and bad and, you know, darkness and light and black and white and all the polarity. and that we're able to be conscious observers at the center of it and be more balanced in our approach. And so that's been useful and helpful. But I found that it actually worked at the grocery store the other day. I was at Trader Joe's, and they had this little curly line that was pretty busy. And so a lot of people in line, we were just kind of waiting around. One of the women was shopping in all the little side giggies that you can buy more things as you're checking out. And so she kind of broke from the line. And so the line moved forward and she didn't. And so I stepped forward. And then she turned around. Oh, excuse me, excuse me. I was in line. And it's like I looked at her and I said, I understand that, but it looked like you were still shopping and you seemed like you were indecisive. So I just stepped in. I said, but it's okay if you want to go back into your place. The line's moving fast. I understand how that can be. I've done it too. And she just kind of got silent and took her place in front of me. But the man behind me witnessed it. And he says, that was very, what did he call it? Very tactful. I really liked the way that you approached that. And I said, and I looked at him and I said, yeah, I'm just trying to be a model. So trying to practice what we're preaching and saying that will be the model or the example. And so that, like you, Paula, this is my ministry and it is who I show up as I am in my energetic being. Whether it's in a good mood or not, I'm at least going to be respectful and, show people that they don't have to go to the hate speech or the anger or the defensiveness. I was just watching a podcast right before this morning too, on neurodivergence, and there's this sensitivity, reactive sensitivity disorder. And so they were talking about how when you understand where somebody's coming from, even though you don't necessarily agree or want to feed this reaction, there are ways that you can approach it, and logic is rarely the thing that can work in that particular scenario, is what they were saying. And so as long as you approach it, and this was a couple that were talking about it, and so the spouse who was calling her out was basically saying, I can understand better now because I used to respond with logic all the time. He's an engineer, she's a psychologist. And it's like he would call her out. And so they would have these fights. And so he was saying how he was able to step back and be that observer and be, in the place of love, coming from love, understanding her response, and then letting her evaluate and walk herself through it because she's very aware. And so it was an interesting episode because I was thinking of how we react to people like you were talking about, Laura, your friend that you just butt heads with when you're socializing. And so I'm thinking that if we can just do that more often and remind ourselves, and the I am holy, I am sacred is the reason to kind of remind ourselves to get back on track. That what you were saying too, Kevin, was, you just felt calmer during your day, and the little bumps in the road were shorter and shorter, and were able to be exhausted or extinguished a lot faster. So I thank you for that.
I'm beyond just grateful that you all experienced something moving in you with this homework.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we ask ourselves as the ministry, what is our purpose and what do we do? Why are we hanging out like this? And I think it's to inspire each other or to remind each other that we each have our own ministry and we enjoy each other's company and we can be safe in calling each other out whenever we need to. So that's a big part of why I'm still here. Caitlin, how about you? Where did she go?
I'm here.
Okay.
I decided to sleep in this morning and finish reading a book. Then I had to go for a walk, and then I just realized I didn't feed my dogs yet. So I had to, they're all sitting beside me, panting, waiting for their food.
Multitasking.
So I would piggyback on pretty much what everyone has said here that I agree with, especially with the I am statement. So anyway, so the exercise for me was really good in that it was incredibly grounding. As soon as the words just came, I am holy, I am whole, I am holy, I immediately would get grounded and feel that benevolent grace of being a child of God, therefore godly, and finding myself wanting to just act from that space and be in that space. It was very comforting, kind of like what it feels like to be held by your parent, that type of love and comfort that one feels when I say that. And it just immediately was, it was just an immediate energy changer for me, which I was grateful for because it just brought me back to source. So that worked out really well. That's a great exercise.
Yeah. Highly recommend it.
I
How
like
about you,
some,
Melody? Did you do some things?
If I could stop weeping, I can't. I'm just like I said before, and Paula said, my cup runneth over exponentially. So yeah, I did it too. I never like assign a homework that I'm not willing to do myself. And it was a great reminder. The big When I do it, the big thing for me is when I'm in the shower and I'm washing my body, is water is already a very healing element for me. But scrubbing my feet and saying over and over again, I am holy, I am holy. I'm a I I have a busy life. Um, I work, I run a business, I'm a single mom, doing all the things all the time, going, going, going. And it makes me slow down. It really does. And it makes me stay more present in the moment. And like I said about allowing myself to have boundaries, even with my child saying, not right now, and giving myself permission to be that, I can't stop crying. um, and when I eating and showering are two very sacred moments for me. And it reminds me of what I'm putting on my body and that I don't need to hurry up. Being in the military, I was in the military too. So you learn to eat really, really fast in the military. There's no taking time to digest or give thanks to all the hands that have touched the food that you're about to eat that made it possible. And I don't know if any of us are completely rich financially on this video. Um, but I think most of us have a lot of luxuries that a lot of people in the world don't, and how easily and grateful I am that food comes so easy for me, that I can cook it so quickly, that all these people made it possible for me to go to an abundant store and buy it. And so I slow down and give thanks, and thanks to even the plant and the sun that touched it and it grew and it gave its life, or the animal, if you eat animals. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stop crying. I'm just so honored. This is real. This is me. Um, so it made me slow down again with that, and it made me slow down and look at what I'm doing. It helped me feel the earth. I have a little ritual I do every morning. I go out and I take my socks off and I step. First, I ask permission of Mother Earth that I could step on her, and I step on her, and I feel the energy come up my body. And I give gratitude for the day. And it made me slow down and honor that little ritual that I do even more and give time for that. And I do the same thing at night, except for I give thanks and honor the stars and the above. So I make sure I honor the below and the above every day, but I held more space and intention for that. Thank you for calling me out. I do practice what I preach.
Nice.
I like doing it in the shower also. That when you said that, I have been doing that in the shower and just taking some time to just stand there and let the water run over me, and just keep saying those words. And I also like to look in the mirror and say them. I am, and I think of all these different things that I could follow it with, but I'd like to just hold it to that. I am. I am.
It's good.
Just thought of another thing it did for me. I am not a athletic outdoor person, as most of you know, but my husband is. And he said, it's a beautiful day. Why don't we go for a walk? We have a beautiful park with a pond 3 miles from us. Yeah, right. So I went and I was amazed. I mean, I've been to this park thousands of times because it's so close, but I felt nature. I inhaled air that was clean and pure. And we heard this noise, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Is that geese? No, geese don't make that noise. Well, we found this little pond, and there were millions of frogs croaking like crazy in this pond. And we just both stood there amazed that nature gave us this. And I said to my husband on the way home, how blessed we are to have this beautiful space preserved by our state that we can freely go to anytime we want. And in the summer, you can actually go swim in the pond. And it was like, wow, I never really noticed it before. Because of Florida and the issues I've had with my lungs, to breathe good, clean, fresh air was just such a blessing yesterday. And my husband was in shock because I kept walking and I didn't want to stop every 5 minutes. And he's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm enjoying this. We need to do this more often. And as a matter of fact, if it doesn't rain here this afternoon, we're going to go again. Now, the other side of that was we realized that our favorite ice cream place was open, and that was my reward for walking was cherry vanilla ice cream from Brookside. So it was like, wow. And then again, I noticed more. I noticed the taste of my ice cream, which I usually just inhale. There were a couple of little children who were putting on quite a show for us, with one of their uncles running around screaming. And normally that irritates me because I never had kids. I'm the oldest of seven, so I never had kids. Um, but I loved it. I was enjoying them. And I thanked their parents for the entertainment when they were getting ready to leave. And they looked at me like, huh? I said, they're marvelous. It's so nice to see children be so free and have their parents not yell at them and make them sit still. As a matter of fact, one of their uncles was encouraging them to do this crazy stuff. So my appreciation level has come up a few notches, and my awareness, because I've been so wrapped up in issues and problems and feelings and stuff, just to be able to let that go for an afternoon and um, enjoy being with my husband, whom I love more than anything in the world, and just to be free with him too. So it's really opened up some new doors for me, I think.
Great.
And thank you again.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it was a great
Being able to see that magic that surrounds us all, the essence of divine.
Mhm. And it's also helped me paint again.
Yay.
Yeah, and it's given my creativity in my flowers a shot in the arm, because I'm finding depths of color. And I bought these pens that are actually acrylic paint, and they make painting a lot easier in some ways, but it's also the layering of the colors that I can do, that I never did before. And it's just like, wow, I guess there really is an artist in me somewhere, and I've been keeping her locked up in jail. And we'll see what she can do.
Yay.
Yeah,
Yep,
cool.
that's awesome. So Charlie said he was going to join us, but he must be out on a walk or something.
Talk about artist. He has so many different talents. He's amazing. He's just mind blowing at taking up sculpting now at what, 92? Is he 92 yet? No, May. He'll be 92, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because he's younger than Shirley. Yeah. And Caitlin, you might want to touch base with Shirley. She's talking about leaving this earth. She's done. She's ready. Sally and I are going to go see her on Wednesday and see what's up. But I just thought you might want to touch
Huh,
base with her. She's very down.
okay.
But she feels she has no purpose anymore. When she does, we need her. But she can't get online. She can't work her computer anymore. So
Why isn't there somebody in her building that can help her with that to get her online on
she has
Sunday?
she has a nurse's aide, but the nurse's aide only comes during the week. She needs somebody right there
Right.
to help her because her kids have fixed it several times and she keeps doing something to it. She puts her camera down, forgets where it is. Her forgetfulness is really becoming her detriment lately. And there's nobody that's really spiritual in her building, even though she has a lot of friends and they love her. They don't understand where she's coming from. Um, and I think she misses going out too, because whenever we take her out to lunch, she not only chatters constantly, eats everything, but she also manages to give at least three people a message on the way out the door. I think she misses that
Yeah.
because those people don't know how to accept her messaging or
Huh.
what she is, who she is. And she doesn't feel she's useful at all. Whereas when Sally and I were visiting her every week, we were her purpose. We needed her advice, we needed her wisdom. And neither one of us have been able to do that for a very long time. I can't even remember the last time I saw Shirley, because I've been so wrapped up in my sister-in-law and going back and forth to Florida. So I just ask for prayers for her. And, Caitlin, she adores you. So if you have time, if you could
Absolutely.
give her a buzz. And I'll let you all know next week what I get out of her on Wednesday. But I'm more worried than I've ever been about her talking about leaving, because she was dead serious this time.
So what can we do as a ministry to enfold her again? We have to find somebody on that side, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, somebody who's willing to sit with her for the service and let her have access to us.
Unfortunately, there is no one. Her daughter now has a gentleman in her life, and even when she takes her mom to her house for the weekend, they don't go online. It's not her thing. Her grandson has his own issues. Her son is very nasty. Um, and most of the people in the building don't even use a computer, she tells me. So I don't know what can be done to fix that. I mean, every once in a while she figures it out and she comes on, but that's been very rare, um, in the last 6 or 8 months. I mean, I'll look at her computer when I go and make sure her camera's up and she knows how to get in because I've written instructions for her before. But unless somebody's actually sitting there with her, but she doesn't have that. And all of our other kids are in Georgia, California, North Carolina. So the only one is Gail, and Gail is overloaded as it is, um, because she does take responsibility for her mother and her brother. So other than pray for her or call her, I don't know what
She
else
always
we can do.
enjoyed reading from those letters that she channeled.
Yeah, her
That would perk her
ancients,
up at
the
times.
ancients. Yeah. But again, if she can't get online, she can't read to us.
Right.
So I don't know. Because she's far enough away from me and I get up too late on Sundays for me to actually do that because she's like almost an hour away from me. Not quite. Um, so I don't know. I'm asking for prayers. And those of you who have her phone number, give her a buzz, if you can. Um, and it may be her time. I have to accept that. I mean, 15 years ago when I was working on the bishop classes, she almost left us and was ready to go. And I said, "You can't go. I need you. You're my mentor." And so she got a miracle, and they put a filter in because she was shooting clots. They put a green field filter in, and she's been pretty good since then. But I'm hearing a lot of tiredness in her voice when I do talk to her. Like maybe she is done, her mission is over, but I don't know until I see her. So I will let everybody know next Sunday. And it will break my heart if she needs to leave, but if she needs to leave, she needs to leave. And I will help her with that in any way I can. Because she's been like a sister to me for so long. And she's still my mentor. And I know when she's over there, she'll still be mentoring me from that side because I know her very well. But I just thought, Caitlin, you should know because I know she loves you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know with Charlie and Bobby, she was ready too, and so they constructed a celebration of life as she was going, and it went very well. And their family is just amazing. They're just really proactive and active people. They get out and about a lot, and the four generations come and visit often. But I think he's been inspired since there was no more restriction once she left, that he was out doing more activities. He started playing tennis again. He was out driving, meeting with people, going back to the spiritualist church and, walking the dog. He adores that dog. So
Yeah.
I wonder if an activity would help her stay
But
more.
she does talk about, if I had a car, I could just get up and go.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a fantasy because I keep saying, where would you go? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. You know,
Do they
and
have Uber and Lyft up there?
yeah, they do. She's
Okay.
got a senior center bus that she could take to go shopping, but she won't do that. You know, she finally let the nurse's aide in her life, and the nurse's aide does take her out, which has been really good. But the nurse's aide's father just passed away, so she hasn't seen her in a couple of weeks. So that's bringing her down as well. But she, I remind her, you gave up driving for a reason. Spirit told you when you found yourself lost in the middle of Arizona, Spirit said, time to let go. So why are you talking about driving again when you know it's not something you can do? She says, I know that, but I still hope, you know. um, and some of the ladies that live near her do drive, but she never asks them for a ride. She doesn't like to impose on people. Um, and they do play games once or twice a week, but even that's getting not to be so much fun for her. So I don't know. I'll know more on Wednesday when I actually can see her face to face because she keeps saying, why don't you call me? Well, I've been on the phone all week doing this, this, and this, or I'm in Florida. I visit my sister-in-law every single day and keep her entertained. And by the time I'm finished entertaining her, I got no more entertainment left in me. And she says, well, I try to understand that, but I miss you. I know I miss you too. I miss your wisdom. I just don't have the energy to get on the phone when I've been playing nurse for 5 hours and driving 45 minutes back and forth. Um, so it's been difficult. And Sally hasn't been able to visit her at all because John is not well. And please send him prayers. He's on oxygen now and has to have a walker. So unfortunately, Shirley's world has kind of imploded, and we're not there anymore. And part of her understands, but the other part of her is still lonely and misses us. And I'm honored that she feels honest enough with me, that she
Yeah.
feels comfortable enough being honest with me and saying, "Where are you? I miss you. Why can't you talk to me?" Um, and
What
I have to
about
tell her,
telepathy?
that's
Might
an
that be a
interesting.
way to squeeze it in and keep it
Yeah,
fresh? And
yeah,
because we're all being encouraged to learn that's going to be the next phase with
that's
this
a great
thinning
idea.
veil.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't even never thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm fairly telepathic.
And let her know that.
Yeah,
Let her know that we're all sending her the best,
great. I will.
but she needs to be told and put it on a note that she can put it on her mirror. You got a world full of people praying for you. You know, it's tough. It's tough, but she may be ready to go, and it may be the time. And her soul is about to launch on the most incredible journey.
She'll be
When
back
you,
dancing on the floor again.
She
well,
will.
that's it. I mean, she'll be 16 and kicking her heels, and I heard a sermon years ago, and it was a guy talking about when our loved ones cross over it, and he reckoned he put it in the context of it's like they're going on a cruise, and we're on the dock, and we're all waving, and we're excited they're going but also sad they're going.
Yeah.
And then what it's like for them on the ship to be waving goodbye to all their family, but look at the journey that's ahead of them. And I constantly think of that,
Yeah.
and it's so real. And we on the dock, all we can do is help them pack, and send them on the journey, and say, your work is done and good job, and you have our blessing and love, and uh but let her know that we're thinking of her a lot,
She will. Thank you.
and that, and if the telepathy thing works, let her know that we're sending her. I'm
I
visiting
would
her
presume
more
that
than she wants.
yeah, wouldn't that be a little better than the dementia fits, right? If her
Mm.
telepathy works, that's the soul coming through.
I'm pretty sure her telepathy still works because she still can give people a message
Yeah.
rapidly. So yeah, and that bypasses the dementia. You're right.
Yep. We're talking
Mm.
about Shirley, Charlie. Welcome.
Hi, Charlie.
You're on mute if you're talking.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Hey,
Good
hey.
morning. I
Have
was
you had a
telling.
fruitful discussion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was telling them I'm concerned about Shirley. She's talking about it's time for her to leave, and I'm just asking people to send her prayers.
Yeah,
I'll find out more when I visit her on Wednesday. But
yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
mm,
Yeah, there's a time to go, a time to leave.
So,
well,
Charlie, we each went around and talked about our homework. Did you do your homework? I am holy. I am
Well,
sacred.
I did some of it, but the affirmations I do all the time, and they're very similar affirmations. And I don't think I would have been here this long if it weren't for positive
Yeah.
affirmations,
Yeah.
constructive. Uh, I'm sure they make it a contribution to my longevity and also to my prosperity.
Yeah. Yeah. We need a little bit of that. I need to get
Yeah.
inside of your investment mindset.
Well, prosperity isn't all about money or investments. Prosperity is about living well.
That's true.
And you don't have to have a lot of money to live well, a lot of investments, but you have to count your blessings where you're at. I was talking about this to Dolly, because a lot of people have the notion that if I have a lot of money, I'm going to be happy. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
No, if you follow your heart's desire and serve in a manner that your soul wants you to serve, then you'll be enriched. Whatever, you'll have enough sustenance to see you through. You'll have shelter. You'll have transportation. So prosperity includes good health. Catherine Ponder, if you're sure some of you have read some of her books, she's very good. It made a difference in my life when I took classes when I was around 40 years of age, and it's a mindset. If you're able to change your belief system, you're able to change your mind, your thinking, then you're open up to more opportunities. It works wonderful.
Yep.
So yes, I believe wholeheartedly. And last night I had the privilege of going to Soka University. Have any of you heard of Soka University? Soka. Well, you need to. It is a campus in North Orange County, spread over a large acreage with about 40 buildings, architecturally designed beautifully with lakes and everything. And their goal is to have students from diverse students, at least 50 to diversity is important. So they bring students in the world from all cultures, and their purpose is to empower them to be socially active participants in a peaceful society. The campus, I don't know how many billions of dollars it took to build it in a huge lake in front of a major building. Went to the opera last night. Their opera house is first class. I don't care whether it's a LA Philharmonic or the Sigrist in North Orange County. I've been in the Scala Opera House in Italy. Their opera house or their theater is amazing. Everything's first class. Guess how many students they have? 400. That's all they have is
Wow.
400 students.
Wow.
And I'm just so impressed with it. I tried to convince my grandkids to even look at it years ago, but they didn't bother. It started out of a Japanese. And guess what? It started by a man that was an orphan. He was very poor, and now he eventually sponsored what happened. And there's like 3 other schools, all women's school in Japan, etc. So how does somebody come out of poverty and can come up with such a beautiful concept and put it to work and get the funding for it? I mean, much better than UCLA or SC campuses or any campuses, major campuses that have been around the world. Some of them are pretty good, but there's so many buildings and so much concrete. But this is spread out over acreage and it's greenery and lush. And 400 students. And because the classes are so small, you're invited to go home and have a meal with your professor. So it's that intimate. Anyway, very impressive. And there was 5 virtuosos there. The kids like 17 been playing the violin like since they were 3 years old, or the piano or the
Wow.
cello. We got standing ovations. The dedication and discipline it takes to do that, it's just outstanding. Anyway, it's marvelous. I hope you're ever out this way, have an opportunity to check it out.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
I asked them at the girls working the ticket counter, I said, they do have a graduate school. And I said, did they accept 90-year-olds in graduate school? I'd love to be there.
Yep. Very cool. All right. We're winding down.
I have a question, if you
Sure.
don't mind. Do you
Yeah,
guys
go.
ever just do the prayer together, like now?
The
Or
prayer?
when you pray for like somebody like Shirley?
Oh, sometimes.
Ah,
We've done
just
like
curious. Not to
the
put
guided,
anybody on the spot, but
yeah. If you would like to
We
guide us, go ahead.
used to always start with opening prayers for people. We always did that for a long time. We
Yeah.
got away from it. And it's a good idea. Thank you, Melody. So, Melody, it's your idea. How about you leading us?
well, I'd be honored to, and I can, but I don't know Shirley. So I don't know if somebody that knows Shirley would like to guide us all in a prayer for her. I mean, I'm sure I can do a lovely job because my heart is in it, but I don't know if that's as honorable as somebody who actually knows her leading it.
Prayer only works from the heart. I mean, not only, but it's important to have the heart involved, no matter who we pray for, right?
Well, of
The
course.
suffering of humanity. You don't have to know the people personally, you just have to know the tragedies that are out there.
All right, let's do it. I'm it. Okay, if we'll just close our eyes, bow our head, whatever feels right for you. Oh, Holy Spirit of God, please hear our prayer. Let us all send a stream of grace and love to Shirley. Let her be engulfed with loving golden light and feel the divine surrounding her in her time of transition, whether she's transitioning right now, in a few months from now, a few years from now. Let her be reminded and feel the love from you, divine source. Let her telepathic antennas extend and feel each and every one of us here right now thinking of her, embracing her, and reminding her that her work has not gone unnoticed. Her name is heard, and that she is divinely held and loved where she is right now. A hallowed be, blessed be. Amen.
All right, let's include others. I'll take over if you don't mind.
No, please do.
Like the big heart that Shirley has, and so many of our ministers and priests and bishops in our ministry that serve humanity and suffering humanity in so many ways. Let the blessings from our heart reach out to those suffering anywhere around the world with all the tragedies and wars we're having. Let us know that deep within the soul of each and every one of those beings is the perfect expression of God, and that God is always whole, is always perfect, not missing anything. And that God is joy, that God is love, that God is peace, and that God provides healing, that God provides transitions, that God creativity is expressed through each and every person on this planet, however and wherever. And so let us know that each person is divinely guided and inspired, no matter what their circumstances are, that God is infused in every wonderful thought they have, in every deed that goes is a recognition of the divine presence expressing itself in a transcendent and higher way than our lower selves. And let us give thanks for that knowingness, that we are alive, that we are alert, and that we are aware of God's almighty power expressing its life through each and every one of us right now and forevermore. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody, for suggesting that. We need to come back to that.
Yeah. All right. So again, next week, I'm going to ask either Terry or Charlie to take the topic. I will not be here. So we're going to work on hosting and getting you guys up and running, but I will be out of town. So appreciate all that you do and really enjoy these replays. I've been doing a lot of playbacks, and there's just always some really good pearls with this group. And so I appreciate all of you. And Melody, thank you for this topic. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. See if Terry will take next week.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks, I'm going to a seminar on apparitions. I'll bring home some material.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Will do. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love and
Thank
hugs
you.
to all.
Bye.
Good to see y'all.